You're highly welcome to Future Setters Institute's live youth development show. And today we are going to be interacting on the topic collaboration, strategic collaboration, the key to organizational growth. You see, a lot of organizations need to grow, but the major key that can help them is collaboration. And a lot of people run away from collaboration. So today we are going to be interacting on the topic, and you are going to be watching a very great video of Future Setters Institute partnering with Long Think Enterprises. Do well to stay with us and prepare all your questions.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're looking at a really interesting piece today. It's called A Shared Future. Future Setters and Long Ting align.
Right. And the title itself, A Shared Future, it sort of sets a tone, doesn't it?
It does. And the source immediately says, you're not just pressing play, you're stepping into a story. So it's framing this as a narrative right from the get-go.
Exactly. A story that spans quite a distance, too. It mentions Abia State in Nigeria, then Berlin, Bangkok, Hanoi.
Yeah, that global reach hits you straight away.
Right.
This isn't just a local thing.
Not at all. But, it emphasizes something maybe even more foundational than the geography.
What's that?
This idea of alignment, not just collaboration, but alignment of values, vision, and voice.
Ah, okay. That's a key distinction. Alignment. It sounds deeper, more integrated than just working together on projects.
It does, doesn't it? It suggests they're operating from the same core principles, kind of like vibrating on the same frequency, as the text puts it later. A shared pulse.
Right. Not just doing things together, but really believing in the same why.
Precisely. Yeah. And that why, their shared mission, is stated very clearly. To grow leaders, uplift voices, and reimagine what's possible for the next generation.
And that's pretty much our goal for this deep dive too, right?
Yeah.
To unpack how they're actually trying to achieve that through this alignment.
Exactly. We'll go through the source bit by bit, see what it reveals.
Okay, so let's start where the text starts, with this concept of alignment. That opening line, stepping into a story, it feels very intentional.
It really does. It draws you in. And those locations, Abia State, Berlin, Bangkok, Hanoi, they immediately paint this big, diverse picture.
Yeah, quite the stage. So this alignment of values, vision, voice, how is that practically different from, say, just a standard partnership? What does it look like on the ground based on this text?
Well, think about their shared mission growing leaders, uplifting voices. Alignment of values means they fundamentally agree on what's important in that process.
Okay.
Alignment of vision means they're aiming for the same end goal, the same future.
Right.
And alignment of voice, that suggests they communicate about it consistently, maybe with a similar tone, a similar honesty, across their different platforms.
So it's less about the operational mechanics at first and more about this shared philosophical foundation.
I think so, yeah. That seems to be the bedrock for everything else they describe.
Makes sense. That bedrock supporting the mission. It's the anchor for the whole story.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's follow the text structure. It zooms in first on the Future Setters Institute, FSI, based in Abia State, Nigeria, described as a vibrant force of education and empowerment.
Vibrant force. Yeah, that definitely conveys energy, impact. And their focus areas are listed: leadership, personal development, and work ethics.
Pretty foundational stuff for young people finding their way.
Absolutely. But then it quickly adds it's more than curriculum, which feels significant.
How so?
It talks about community, mentorship, and there's that line about their approach, walking beside young people, not ahead of them.
Oh, I like that image. It suggests support, guidance, not just top-down instruction.
Exactly. And it links to another phrase about their philosophy. Growth doesn't shout. It listens.
That really flips the script, doesn't it? It's about being responsive, understanding needs, not just delivering a preset program.
You see that listening in the specific things they do, like powerful school debates that's about voice.
Right.
Then there are 10-day drug awareness campaigns tackling tough real-world issues.
Okay.
Consistency challenges, confidence workshops, teaching women to lead, inviting boys to reflect. It's a whole mix: building skills, resilience, self-awareness.
It sounds very holistic, addressing the individual, but also social dynamics, like with the specific mentions for women and boys.
Definitely. And they take this approach online, too, with their youth development show on YouTube every Sunday.
And what's the focus there?
The text says it's a space for vulnerability and vision. They talk openly about things like depression, authenticity, business purpose, Really crucial topics.
Wow, so they're creating what the text calls honest spaces, real tools, a map, a mirror, a moment.
Yeah, that's a great summary. It's not just about skills, it's about emotional intelligence, self-understanding, direction, and just having a space to process things.
Right.
The map for direction, the mirror for reflection, the moment for that vulnerability.
What really comes through about FSI is how deeply rooted it seems in community engagement, in listening, and building those core personal strengths.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now the source shifts focus, moving eastward to Longting Enterprises, operates across Europe and Asia.
Right, and the description is intriguing. Born at the crossroads of ancient insight and modern innovation.
That is interesting. Ancient insight, modern innovation suggests a blend of tradition and, well, future focus.
And again, it's framed as more than a company. It's called an ecosystem, a constellation of 6 dynamic divisions.
Ecosystem
Yeah.
implies interconnectedness, right? Things working together. And those 6 divisions are incredibly varied.
They really are. Let's see. Musical storytelling bridging cultures, queer media reclaiming narratives, inclusive coaching shifting mindsets, culturally rooted games that teach, intercultural concerts celebrating connection, and renewable energy systems powering the future.
Wow. That's quite a range.
Yeah.
Music, media, coaching, games, events, even green energy. How do all these fit together under one roof? What's the common thread?
The text offers a clue. It says they don't just create, they choreograph transformation.
Choreographed transformation. That sounds very deliberate, very artistic, even across something like renewable energy.
It does. It suggests an intentional orchestration of change, not just random projects. And their main focus areas are listed as leadership, art, and sustainability.
Ah,
And crucially, it adds all done with a deep sense of soul.
so maybe that's the link. These diverse divisions, music, media, energy, etc., are perhaps the different ways they explore and foster leadership, art, and sustainability, all guided by this deeper soul or purpose.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. That deep sense of soul as the unifying element across all this diversity.
And the source connects this idea of transformation and soulful leadership directly to a specific output, doesn't it? A book.
Yes, Global Leadership Insights 2030. This seems really central to understanding their specific take on leadership.
And the author has links to both organizations.
That's right, Oliver Werner Neidinger. He's director of programs at FSI and the founder of Longting, so he literally embodies the connection.
Okay, so the book isn't just some separate project. It's presented as emerging from this whole ecosystem, bringing their kind of leadership to life.
Exactly. And it's described as not a manual, it's a movement built on stories, strategies, global voices.
So if it's a movement, not just a how-to guide, what is the core definition of leadership that this movement is pushing forward, according to the text?
This is really key to their whole shared philosophy. The text says the leadership explored in the book is grounded in empathy, driven by values, and shaped by cultural intelligence.
Empathy, values, cultural intelligence. That feels like a significant shift from older models of leadership, just based on authority or technical skill.
Absolutely. Empathy and values put the focus squarely on the internal compass, the ethical core.
And cultural intelligence. That must be vital given they operate between Nigeria, Europe, and Asia. It means understanding and navigating different cultural contexts effectively.
Critically important for global work, yes.
And then it culminates in that phrase, leading with more than authority, with soul.
Yeah, that adds another dimension. It's not just what you do or how you adapt culturally, but about your intention, your authenticity, who you are being as a leader.
Rooted in purpose.
Exactly.
And the text invites people to read the book if they want to co-create the world, not just manage it. Co-create with courage, clarity, connection.
That idea of co-creation fits perfectly with this leadership model, doesn't it? Empathy, values, cultural intelligence, soul. It's all about active, conscious, collaborative engagement with the world.
It really is. And bringing it back to the alignment we started with, this specific vision of soulful, empathetic, culturally intelligent leadership seems to be the core belief that FSI and Longting share.
Yes. Their individual efforts, their different pulses combine because of this shared belief, becoming that shared wind, a current, a global movement.
And the source makes a point of saying the partnership isn't based on them being similar organizations.
No, it explicitly says it's about that shared belief, and it even lists some specifics.
What are they?
3 core shared beliefs. That every young person deserves a voice, that every dream deserves a mentor, and that leadership is not about position, it's about presence.
Leadership is about presence, not position.
Yeah.
That really challenges the traditional view of leadership as just a title or rank. It makes it about how you show up, how you interact.
Exactly. And then comes what might be the most powerful assertion, and presence can be taught.
Wow. That's quite a statement. Taking this somewhat abstract idea of presence and saying it's a skill, something you can actually learn and develop.
It makes it actionable. And it connects perfectly with FSI's focus on personal development and LTE's coaching work. It suggests they have methods to actually cultivate this kind of leadership presence.
So, okay, we have this alignment, these shared beliefs, this specific vision of leadership.
Yeah.
How does it actually manifest in practice? The text mentions specific plans for 2025.
Right, this is where the collaboration becomes really tangible. They list monthly programs addressing real-life challenges.
Okay, practical application.
Weekly shows that nurture resilience, perhaps building on that FSI YouTube show concept, maybe expanding it. Then there's cross-border visibility using YouTube, LinkedIn, even live global stages to get the message out and connect people.
So leveraging digital and physical platforms.
And importantly, a mentorship network that knows no borders and no limits.
So that globalizes the mentorship principle we saw with FSI, extending that walking beside idea across continents.
Exactly. Using technology and networks to connect mentors and mentees regardless of location.
It sounds like a really integrated plan. You've got structured programs, ongoing media content for resilience and connection, efforts to increase visibility, and this core mentorship piece tying it together globally.
It really does. The source sums up the journey nicely. From Abia State to Berlin. From digital storytelling to real-world coaching. From ancient scrolls to future scroll bar.
That captures the geography, the methods, and that blend of tradition and modernity we talked about earlier.
Precisely.
And one last thing the text includes are these direct messages, these affirmations aimed at specific groups in their community. That feels like a really human touch.
It does. There's a message for teachers. Your role is sacred. That's a powerful validation of educators.
Absolutely.
And then repeated twice, which really emphasizes it, a message for every youth mentor. Your words matter, underlining the impact of that individual guidance.
Yeah, repetition makes you notice.
And also repeated, a message for young people who feel overlooked. We see you, we hear you, we believe in your future, and we're walking it with you.
That's incredibly affirming, offering recognition, belief, and that promise of accompaniment. It connects the big global mission right back to the individual.
It really grounds it all.
Okay, so let's recap briefly. We've unpacked this source about the alignment between Future Setters Institute in Nigeria and Longting Enterprises across Europe and Asia.
We've seen how there's shared belief in youth potential and a very specific kind of leadership, empathetic, value-driven, culturally intelligent, soulful forms the core of their partnership.
We looked at FSI's community-focused work, LTE's diverse ecosystem, and how the book Global Leadership Insights 2030 crystallizes their leadership vision.
And we saw how this translates into action through their 2025 initiatives, programs, media, mentorship, all operating globally, all underpinned by those direct, affirming messages to their community.
It paints a picture of a very intentional, globally connected effort focused on empowering young people with a particular kind of conscious leadership capability.
Definitely.
Which brings us to a final thought, really sparked by the closing lines of the source. It ends by saying, "We are connected with your future," and includes that line in Chinese, which reinforces the same idea.
Yeah, your future is intimately connected with us.
Right. So what does it really mean when organizations like these, working across cultures, redefining leadership, focusing on youth and co-creation, what does it mean when they declare such a direct connection with your future, the listener's future? What future are they inviting you, the listener, to co-create? And how does that idea of presence leadership fit into that invitation?
That's a great question to ponder. It shifts the dynamic, doesn't it? It's not just about them doing things for youth, but about being fundamentally interconnected with the future we're all building. It suggests a shared responsibility, maybe even an invitation for you to cultivate that kind of presence in whatever role you play. It's a powerful statement of interdependence.
A compelling place to leave it. That's our deep dive into a shared future. Future Setters and Longting align.
You are welcome to Future Setters Institute Youth Development Show, episode 14. And today we're going to be discussing on strategic collaboration, the key to organizational growth. A lot of young people, a lot of people don't really know the value of strategic uh, collaboration. So that is the major reason for today's program, where we are going to enlighten you on what's up in your organization to do. So do well to stay with us. We also have a great speaker who is going to be joining us shortly, and the person of Santha, Meena. She's going to be joining us shortly. But now we started that, we'll proceed. We'll proceed. So collaboration, strategic. That means something that is something that intentional, something that you prepare ahead for. Strategic. That means it's tactical. You know what you are doing. You are attacking a problem with energy, attacking a problem with intentionality, attacking a problem with experience. So you know how to solve the problem. So something that is tactical, you are attacking it in a very crucial direction. So collaboration, that's about unity. It's all about trying to work together, having one voice, having a shared vision, having a shared idea, having something in common. So this is strategic collaboration. So the next aspect is, organizational growth. Organizational growth. I believe we all know that growth release it's all results that shows. It's all about progress. It's all about revenue. It's all about customer satisfaction. All about these things that that shows that you are actually working. You are actually doing something really great. So strategic collaboration, as tactical collaboration. You know that this person is in almost having a shared vision with you, and you tend to work with him or her so that you can actually grow your organization, because you cannot do it all. You know that you cannot do everything. That is a very short thing. And like I always tell people, there are a lot of things I know that you do not know, and there are a lot of things you know that I do not know. So when we actually get to understand these major points, we will get to understand that we need to collaborate so that we can fill the voids. Fill the voids. So one major thing I would love to let you know is you are either building your vision, either building your vision, or you are building the vision of others. So a lot of people just they work under people. They are unable to really do what they are supposed to do. So they you can have a vision but lack the required resources to further desire. So that vision you have, you need to be able to further desire. So how will you further desire? You have to intentionally work on whatsoever you are doing. So the vision is what sets you on track. Your vision is what sets you on track. Your vision is what puts you part. Your vision is what energizes you to do whatsoever. But a lot of us just feel that this vision, this idea, it's very difficult for me. It's very tough for me. It's this that happens. So we have to intentionally know what we are doing. Attack the problem with intentionality. So you're either building the vision, building your own vision. So strategic collaboration is actually the key to talk about some steps. Into biochemistry, pharmacology. One thing about biochemical pharmacology says that there's agonist and there's something called an antagonist. What does an agonist? You see, a receptor binds to an active site, the active site to produce, that is an agonist. But an antagonist binds to the receptor, causes total different change, causes a change that is irresistible, a change that is worse than you can ever expect, right? Agonist and antagonist. So is a collaborator. The agonist is a collaborator, but the antagonist is not really a collaborator. It's there. You see, there are some people that that this person is not really. This person is going to compete with me. Is going to be a competitor of it. I don't need a competitor in my team. I need a person to collaborate, a person that actually wants to grow with me, a person that actually wants to be involved in whatsoever I'm doing. So that kind of person I need. I don't need a competitor. Somebody that will come and start competing with me, start challenging me in my ideas, start doing things against my will. You understand? So this is one particular thing that we have to understand, that we have agonists and we have the antagonists. So we have to know the kind of people we put in our team. Don't go and put people that are not really going to give you what you want, right? So you should know the kind of. Okay, welcome Santa. Welcome Santa Mina.
Hi. Well, how are you?
Are you there? Okay. So I'm
So,
doing
is my
great. I'm
voice
doing great.
clear?
Okay, welcome. Okay, okay, okay. We just started,
Thank
but
you. Thank you so much.
immediately I'm done. Immediately I'm done. We'll continue. Okay, yeah, welcome. Immediately I'm done. You proceed. All right. All right. So, like I said, we have an agonist and an antagonist. So we have to understand what this means, how we can channel this to our organization. Like I said, the agonist binds to the active site, leads to the activation of the active site, and changes it just it works in line with the receptor. But the antagonist changes everything, just like it's challenging you, making you to do something extremely different from how it's supposed to be. So you need to know the kind of people you put in your organization, know the kind of teammates you have, right? You don't need everybody to be in that team, that's your team. Not everybody can actually take you to the path you want to be. So know the kind of people you need in your team. So you want to open a dream school. Let's say, for example, you want to open a dream school. So, for example, you want to open a dream school, you want to open a dream company, but you lack the resources. Now, you have this thing you want to do, but you lack the required resources to get you to where you want to be. And then you'll be thinking, how can I really go about it? Possibly, you do not have, yes, like I said, but you don't have, but you have the idea. There are a lot of people that have ideas, but they lack the people that can actually fuel the idea. So you need to see how you can have ideas. Maybe you don't have the money, but you can have people that can fuel that idea. And that is where collaboration comes in. The kind of people you put in your organization, the kind of people you collaborate with can help you to put that thing on your mind in place. That idea, that dream you have, it is just certain people that you work with that can just change the narrative, make that thing work perfectly well. Okay, Santa is saying something. Santa.
No, no. Yeah, yeah. Everything is clear
All
for
right,
me.
all right, all right. No. All right, all right, all right. Okay, okay. So the kind of people you put in matters a lot. So you need to see how you can get people that can fuel that vision, fuel that idea, fuel that thing on your mind to put that thing into reality. Know the kind of people you collaborate with, those people that can help you to get to the place you are supposed to be. So you don't really have a recognized company name. You decide to collaborate. Some people may decide to collaborate with companies that they have a very huge name, a name that is existing and all that. You see some of what these we have KDs, we have different companies. Some persons may just need the name to open, and a lot of customers start coming, right? These are things that people do. So we don't just need to, we cannot, it's not really, but when we collaborate, it becomes very easy because things are not really as difficult as it seems. But if we can collaborate with a lot of things, so I'm going to share something with you all now. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. I'll share this with us. Okay. So uh, there are a lot of things. I'm going to start from the first one. You see, some persons, they are coaches, right? A lot of people are coaches, and they want to do something. They want to organize a very big program. The idea, they may not really know how, but there are still some persons that have already been in that category. They are already doing that thing very well. So what happens when you join your person? It becomes very easy for you. It works out very perfectly, works out perfectly well. But most times, most of us just fold our arms and wait till we get that opportunity. So to opportunities, we have to work with like minds, work with people that are in that place we are, people that have that shared vision, have that shared belief. We need to collaborate with them. You see, for example, Santa is from India and I'm from Nigeria. Imagine a situation where Santa has her own ideas from India, maybe the way she was exposed in India, the people she meets, the universities has attended, the environment and everything may have affected her differently. While someone like me from Nigeria may have been affected differently. So if we collaborate, what happens is we begin to share ideas, share experiences, learn from each other, and we grow. That is one thing. So we should try to collaborate with people, not just for because we don't know how the works. So collaboration is a very huge tool. It's a very huge tool for organizations. But most people just feel it's not really important. It's not really a great thing. Yeah, collaboration is a very important tool, right? Like environment can actually change a lot of things about influence people positively, and this can make people do very well. Environment. Maybe you leave Nigeria, you go to a different place. You now see that things are different. You're trying to adapt. You're trying to do things differently. You begin to grow. So collaboration is very much important. So one thing I always tell people that a man cannot achieve enough on his own, but when a man joins another person, he achieves more than enough. So collaboration is very important. So why do we need to collaborate? Let's some of the questions. Why do we need to collaborate? Different exposure. Like I said, different environment. Maybe I studied at University of that's Nigeria, and Santa studied at University of Michigan. So we now work together. We do differently. We help people. So if Santa is a youth development expert and a life coach, what happens is we now partner together. What we were thinking that I'm myself for because I don't really have enough experience in that thing. If Santa knows, it begins to do very well because people will now be more interested. So it helps us. The first one is different. Understand that a lot of people are different. A lot of people have their own experiences. A lot of people have their own ideas. But if we can actually work together, so the other one is the aspect of shared ideas and opinions. So we've noticed that maybe something we need to work together for a common goal that our mind that we want to achieve together. So that thing would actually make us to do things together. But when we do not have a common goal, we have personal interest. Personal interest can come in. So if we have my reason and I just want for my own lane, things I don't want things to favor you. I only want where problem is going to come in. So we have to know that we are not doing things, we're not collaborating for personal interest. We are collaborating because we want to help the next person there. The person that is there is definitely going to be happy working with you. So our perception of things may be right or wrong. So we have to know the reason why we want to work together. What's the reason why we're working together? That should be something that we put into writing. We agree on it and we work. Collaboration is very much important in sustaining growth, increase uniqueness. If Santa, for example, work together, what happens is people now see things in a very unique way. They're like, wow, wow, wow. Oh, these things, I never believed that they will be able to do it. But when they come together, you see uniqueness. People are now like seeing things better, seeing things in a very unique way and better way. So to sustain growth in collaboration, I have 6 points. 6 points. 6 points you need to put into place. You need to put in place. The first point is constantly remind yourself of the vision and always focus on the vision. So this is the reason why we are collaborating. We should ensure we constantly remind ourselves about it. We did last month where Nora Bauer said we need to there's nothing like over communication. We need to constantly communicate, constantly remind ourselves of the reason why we are collaborating. So if maybe someone is now beginning to leave the reason, is trying to work against what we are doing, he has forgotten why we decided to do this. You remind the person that this is the reason why we are doing this. So constantly remind yourself about the vision and always focus on it. So focus is very much important. We need to focus on the reason why we are doing this. The second one is be consistent. Be consistent. As you are a work in progress, you need to consistently keep pushing. So for a person that wants to collaborate, people need to see something in you first before they collaborate with you. It's not just a person that sits down, that does not have does not really grow himself. Someone that just wants a very easy, smoothly for him and just collaborate with someone. People collaborate. You have something great to offer. Right now. Try to make sure you build something that can attract collaboration. That is number two. Regular communication for favorites. So if you are collaborating with someone, there should always be communication, constant communication, because it's very much important. The way you want to collaborate with someone, you don't want to reach out to them. You don't expect such to work. So it will get to a level and everything will just fade away. So constantly collaborate, constantly communicate with the person, ask how can we do better, how can we improve, what can we do, what are the lapses, what are the problems, and how can we improve, how can we do better. So this is another major thing. We need to always collaborate and communicate effectively. So another thing, the fourth point is work towards building a formidable team. So you have decided to collaborate with someone. As you have decided to collaborate with someone, you need to ensure that you become bigger. You have decided to collaborate. So with time, things grow. You grow and you do excellently well. But most people just collaborate just for a short time and everything just ends. No, that is not it. So you collaborate because you want to build something really big, something really great, something that is beyond you. So I always tell people, if your vision does not keep you up at night, then it's not a great vision. It's not something unique. So you need to ensure that vision, that idea keeps you up at night. It makes you to start thinking out of the box. How can I improve? How can I do well? That is another thing. Then always important. You need to see how you can involve technology in your collaboration, improve on what you already have, grow in that place, and improve consistently, improve on a daily basis. Then the last part is constant ideas. When you keep having ideas in that particular area, do very well. You see, our organization knows the reason why it's set up. There will always be ideas. When there is a vision, a person will always think of how to build on that vision. But when there is no vision idea, there's no team not resonate to the frequency of the vision. You are just waiting for things to come out the way you want it. They're very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So last point, I will just share some advice. Just know these points. Know these major points. The first one is you are great, you are special, you are wonderful and lovable, you are a person. And what you owe yourself is constant growth. You need to constantly keep growing in that particular field. Easy as you expect it, but you need to constantly keep growing before you can or attract collaboration. You don't expect a collaboration to just come up as smooth, as easy as possible. No, you have to build yourself to an extent for people's attention to be on you so that you can grow and do well. Then the second point I would say is that you are a change agent and you need to start working on yourself. You need to start working on yourself. You have not started building that idea on your mind. You have not started doing those things that keep you up, putting to practice is just dreams. Then you need to start putting those that you are a change agent, and you can actually change the world with that great idea on your mind. What you believe, you it is what you believe. Come, never limit self. Give yourself a chance. Love yourself and believe you can triumph. You can do well. You can do it. You can succeed. You can do greatly. All you just have to do is say on my mind so that it can attract great minds that will later on collaborate with greater things. And I'll still tell you this other point says you will succeed and you will prosper. That is if you have decided to do these things and you're intentional about it. Finally, keep growing till you get to point you want to be. Keep growing. Don't worry. You will get there, and definitely you will do exceedingly well. All you just have to do is be and collaborate. Yeah, work with people. Some people that maybe those things that you are not really good at. You reach out to people that can. There are even some persons that will teach you those things for free, and you do exceedingly well. So once more, thank you all for being with us. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with us. Yes, okay. So I've unmuted your mic. Santa, are you there?
Yeah, yeah,
Can
I'm
you hear
there.
me?
I'm very much there. Yeah, you're able to
Okay.
hear now.
So I
Yes.
do appreciate.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I do appreciate the audience for being with us. Yes. So I want to welcome our great speaker and the person of Santa Mina. Santa Mina, a very great speaker. I've been following her online, and she's very great. She speaks on a lot of things related to personal growth, personal development, and yeah, she's building a lot of people in India. So it's so great to have you. Yeah, so great to have you here with us. So you're highly welcome.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Yeah,
Victor.
welcome.
Thank you so much for this warm, wonderful welcome. And good afternoon, everyone. And I'm very genuinely happy to be here today. So I think Victor has given an overview about what strategic collaboration is. So whatever we are doing is also a collaboration kind of thing. So as soon as for the Gen Zs, whenever we say about the collab, immediately what comes to their mind is the Instagram collab. So it is also easy for them to connect with the concept of collaboration, where both come together and they find a solution to a problem. So here today we are going to talk about strategic collaboration. So what is strategic collaboration? It is not just teaming up for the sake of it, but working smart and with a purpose of working smart. So the first thing I would like to ask is, have you watched an ant colony? Ant lives as a colony, right? They live together. So have you ever watched it? So it is always fascinating, right? They build, they defend, they nurture. So one thing that they don't do is working alone. They never can work alone. They always work as a group. So there is coordination, trust, collective effort, and if a small ant can work like that, I think we all also can do it. Um, we all talk about strategic collaboration. We are not just talking about two teams exchanging files or doing favors to each other. We're not talking in small terms when we talk about strategic collaboration. The one thing we have to understand is there is a difference between collaboration and strategic collaboration. So collaboration is the immediate need or the immediate necessity or the immediate result that we get from. But strategic collaboration is after a lot of strategy between the companies. So it is not only two teams exchanging files or doing favors, it is bigger than that. It is when two or more organization or even teams within a company They decide to come together with a clear shared goal in their mind. They just don't work side by side. It is like they pool in their strength, knowledge, and resources. um, if I have to say, have you seen the relay and a football match? So in relay, what happens is, an individual, they run, they pass on the baton, and then the second person run. So there, all the individual effort are put in together as a collective effort. But if you take a football match wherein everyone plays on the field and everyone tries to go towards a common shared goal. So this is the kind of collaboration that we are talking about. So it will be always like they have to plan and get together. So the beauty of that is everyone involved benefits, and it is always a win-win situation. So there are three situations: win, lose, lose, win, or win, win. So in this condition, it is always a win-win situation. So it often leads to ideas and outcomes that would not have happened if they worked alone. And even here, you have to understand what is the difference between cooperation and collaboration. So, what is cooperation? Because many try to confuse that cooperation and collaborations are the same. So, cooperation is a position where you try to cooperate with the person. For example, I may not like the idea, but I would like to cooperate with the person for an result. But collaboration is where both of them come together with a shared view, shared idea. As you told, there are 6 points you would have told. You have listed it out, right? So in the start. So similarly, so they will have a shared goal and everything, and they will get the result. So I will be sharing a lot of stories about different companies, how they have collaborated, and because of collaboration, what uh, what was the implementation there. So innovations and new ideas, right? So Legos. Have you heard of Legos? So in early 2000, Lego was in trouble. Sales was dropping, and in 2000 is an era where people moved to computer games, so video games, and internally they were in lot of panic because their sales are going down. And here's where it gets interesting. Instead of shutting the doors and holding a board meeting, they turned towards their customers. They literally invited the Lego fans to help them design new sets. One fan, he came up with a Star Wars Lego set, and it became a global bestseller. And that again started a trend. So, what's the lesson? Sometimes the best ideas don't come within your team, your department, or anything. They come from unexpected resources, and you have to be open to that idea. You should not be like rigid. You should be flexible enough to invite a lot of ideas. So there is this book called as Where Good Ideas Come From by Stephen Johnson. He says that chance favors the connected mind, which means that it is only a chance that is given to all the connected minds. So different minds, different backgrounds, and different experiences, when they connect and ideas collide, that is when magic happens. So that is also kind of a brainstorming. So every time, you should not be like a horse where you look in only one direction. You should be like a owl to look in all the direction. So so this is what it creates: new ideas and innovation. And what are the other things that you will get because of the strategic collaboration? Market expansion and also access. um, Airbnb. So when Airbnb started, it wasn't an overnight success. They struggled outside the US. Bookings were very poor. So what they did was they partnered with photographers, freelance photographers. They had them stay in that Airbnb for free of cost, and then but they wanted them to post pictures, and their market shooted up. The same thing you can say with Starbucks. So when Starbucks wanted to come to India, so they had a collaboration with Tata. So that is how they partnered, and then they came up with the idea. So anything like any new field, if you take automobile industries or manufacturing industries or any industry, if you take, it is not their only industry that is going to survive there. So if they are going to think, okay, I am in an automobile industry, I am going to think only about automobile, it is not going to work out. So they have to think of other areas as such. So they need many electronic appliances. So they have to have collaboration with an electronics and company and battery. So they will have a lot. They should have a lot of collaboration. Then only you're going to stay in the market. And the third part which I want to talk about is the resource optimization. So when two or three companies come together, the resource can be optimized. So, for example, this is a little story. There is a friend, he runs a digital marketing agency. So, he hired a small team of content writer, graphic designer, video editor. But as business begin to grow, the expenses also it has to grow. So, what he did was he let go of the full-time team and built a network of freelancers, and he was able to achieve with that. So when freelancers, so what happens is the cost dropped, flexibility of works, and business also scaled for him. So it is given in this great book called as the lean startup. So it tells that validate before you invest, and collaborations are a perfect example for that. So it is smarter to rent a talent than to own it. And building a strong relationship. So the because of collaboration, uh, you have to build a strong relationship with the people, because when you go in for collaboration, what is the first thing that you will need? The first thing is trust. So without trust, nothing will work out. So in a in a collaboration setup, the first thing that you have to work on is the trust. So they will part, they will begin partnering, and only when there is a strong relationship, they can grow together. So I love this book by Brené Brown, which says Dare to Lead. So she talks about vulnerability. So why vulnerability? So vulnerability is showing the defects that I have. So and adjusting with that defect. So here I wish to tell a story. So there is a farmer who carries water from the river to his house. So usually in those days they carry it with a stick, and the pot will be on the two sides. Um, so what happens is one pot has many holes in it. The other pot he carries the water. So every day they go, and then the pot which is good in structure, it starts teasing the other pot, saying, "You're only doing half the work. I am only doing all the work." So here what happens is the trust between the pots is lost. So that is not a great team. And the pot with the hole, it is very sad, and it asks the farmer, "So I am not useful to it, please throw me away and then get a new pot for you." But the farmer, he takes time and says, "I know that you have holes, okay, so but just come, look at the road there, and then he's taking the pot with him, taking both the pots. And then if they see on the road, there are beautiful flowers and leaves on one side of the road. It is because the pot has been watering. Okay, because of the holes, the pot has been watering on the pavement, and where you have beautiful flowers. So the person, he realizes what that person's potential is, and he is using that potential. So it should not, there should not be a blame culture. Whenever you go for a strategic collaboration, you have to accept. See, the pot is vulnerable, so it knows that it has holes and it is open to its vulnerability, and the farmer also accepts it, and he comes up with the solution. So there is this five dysfunctions of a team. So the five dysfunctions is, the first one is trust. When the trust is lost, the team will not survive. And next one is conflict. So have you seen the triangle? So in the triangle, the base will be big. So the trust takes a lot of part. And then comes the conflict. So what is conflict? So conflict is when there is a difference in opinion. So when there is a difference in opinion, what you should do is you should voice out. So some people, what they will do is, if they are a passive communicator, what they will do is they will not open up. They will not give any details. They will say, "Okay, I'll stay silent. I need not do this." Okay, and let me go with the flow. They think that way. So what happens is, when you have not addressed a conflict, there is no commitment there. Only when you address a conflict, the commitment will come. So without addressing the conflict, there is no commitment. And if there is no commitment, what happens? The accountability is lost. So it is the like a triangle. So where each level goes further, and the top one is the result. So if you see, the bottom is the trust, then the conflict, then um, you have the commitments, accountability, then the result. So if you increase, the result will be better. But everything decreases, what happens to the result? The result also decreases. So in strategic collaborations, you have to ensure that all these things happen. Then only that collaboration will be a better one. And improved efficiency and productivity also happens because the resources are used. So the efficiency will be there, and the innovations and adaptability. So whenever there is a change, so you cannot survive in the business with yesterday's method. Okay, so you have to change your method to survive in the market. So only then, so that time what you have to do is you have to collaborate. So they have to collaborate to move on to the next level. So uh, let's talk about Netflix. So Netflix, how did they start? They started as DVD rental services, but when the DVD era was over, they were not saying, okay, we started with this, we will stay with this. And they did not say, like, okay, we know only about this and I'm not going to do anything further. They started partnering with the directors, tech companies, telecom providers. Now people, before they screen, they are now partnering with Netflix. They wanted to partner with Netflix or Amazon Prime. How they have brought up their growth. So that they have to accept that, and collaborating with people outside your bubble, that is, the bubble is whatever your organization is. Collaborating with people outside your bubble often helps you to see better options. So within your bubble, you're again within the same mindset of people. So when you are collaborating outside, so you see better options. um so in this, one more thing I want to talk about is about the strategies. Yeah. So, what are these key takeaways for strategic collaboration? Is it is more than just working together. It is about aligning on common goals and building a partnership that benefits everyone involved. And the strengths are shared, and it is not duplicated. And intentional and structured process should be there. So it should be planned, organized, and purposeful. The focus should be on long term and mutual gains. It should encourage innovations and growth. So, for that, you can have a kind of framework, the framework which will help you get into a strategic collaboration. So, all these are like pillars. I will say that it is like a pillars or like a checkpoint. So, I give that the framework is called as COPE, COPE, COPE framework. So, C is clarity. So the first thing that when you have to enter into a strategic collaboration is be clear on your goal. So why you are entering into this collaboration? See, you should not have an hidden agenda. The goal should be open, and both the team should have an awareness of what you are looking at. And the second one is openness. Openness is open to communication. So you are trying to share ideas or giving the feedbacks, it should be done in open. So you should not hold back all the ideas or the communication part. So only when both the sides, or if three or more teams are collaborating, only when they speak freely, trust is built, and then only better decision happens. And the P stands for participation. Involve the right people. Just because you have to give a power to someone doesn't mean that if they are not willing to take up, or if they are not having that right kind of attitude, we should not give them. So make sure that participation is there from the lower level to the higher level. Only then there will be practical insights, and valuable decisions can be made. And empowerment. So empowerment is the teams will be given the authority and the support to act. Don't that is There's one term called as the micromanages. You give the responsibility to them, and then you try to go and take up the responsibility or try to hinder them. So never try to micromanage, because in strategic collaboration it is not going to work. So empower people to take up decisions, and delegate the work. So when delegation is done, give them the complete delegation, and help them to solve the problems. And empowerment can be like a coaching model, so where you try to help people to do better. So um, this is about the strategic collaborations that I have come across. So is there any questions that we can take up?
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of questions. But first and foremost, I want to appreciate you, Santa, Meena, for what you just did. We learned a lot. Thank you so much for the lecture. And I believe the audience are following very well. Also, I wrote down a lot of points, a lot of great points. I'll just say that over here I've observed that some persons they delegate still want to lead. They still want to be the one. When they see those people doing it very well, they become so jealous, and they want to take back what they gave. they gave out. So these are some of the challenges.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a very big challenge over here. And yeah, you talked about clarity, you talked about openness, speaking freely, participating. These are very great points. And I do believe the audience are following. I hope you all are following. If there is any question, feel free to share them in the comment section. Also, there are a lot of questions from my end here, which will be shared on the screen shortly. But once more, thank you so much, Santa Mina. I'll be sharing the questions now. So, audience, please, if you have any
Yeah,
question,
sure.
feel free to drop them as well in the comment section. Feel free to drop them as well in the comment section. Okay, so now we're in the Q&A session. This is the first question. Okay, when is the right time to collaborate?
So the right time to collaborate will be when you're going to start up. When there is a startup idea and then you want to do, but only when there is a clarity, you have to do the collaboration. So without already, if you are not having a clarity, so then it is not the right time to do it. So you have to do when you are doing a startup, if you are trying to start early. Any
Okay, we have more questions. I'll share the other one now. Someone asked this one on YouTube. So, can you share can you share an example where a collaboration didn't work out as expected, and what lessons can organizations learn from failed collaborations? That's Sundarajan Sriman.
Okay, very great question. Yes, we like whenever we talk about any things, we always talk about only on the positive side. Sure, we also have to value the negative side also, because whenever there is a failure, it is a lesson learned. So everyone need not go through with the same situations. So here I can tell this with an example. For example, when McDonald's, they entered India, they collaborated with two partners over here for North and East India, but they faced a huge cultural challenge because they had beef in their menu, and we don't encourage beef in the menu. So it was a big setback for them, and the local taste was very different. We like spicy food, so and it was a very big hit for them. And what happened was the adaptability and the mutual respect. They understood what our culture was, so they specifically created a menu for India, like McAloo Tikki. I don't know whether you will be getting it there, and Pani burgers. So, which understood the market deeply, and then it is a well established branch. So, even though they had a slight setback, they were able to get back on their feet. So, the one thing is cultural sensitivity, that is understanding the people with whom you are trying to collaborate with, and it should also evolve over time. So and initially when they told about that there should be a change in the menu, it was a tough conversation for the Indian partners, but they have to overcome such situations to sustain in the business.
Is, what do you think about financial collaboration? And when is the right time to
Could you repeat the question?
Okay, what do you think about financial collaboration?
Okay, financial collaboration.
Yeah.
So, so it is like when the two or more organizations or business or team, they come together to share the financial resources. It's like they try to invest, and
Okay.
they have to accept the risk also to achieve the mutual goal. It is not just lending or borrowing money. We are not talking about lending or borrowing money. It's about partnering financially to support a very bigger goal. So you would have heard about joint ventures. So joint venture is when two companies pool in the money and the resources to create a new product or service. So that is kind of financial collaboration. And co-funding is when two or three stakeholders, they come together and they try to fund the project. And sometimes like it is like two or three friends, they pool the money for a road trip, and you share the fund. And also if the car breaks down, you take responsibility for that also.
Awesome.
So that
Awesome.
should be there.
Once more,
Risk
thank you so
sharing
much,
should be
Santa. Yeah. Okay, we have one more question. I'm coming. All right, so I'm about to display the question now. Okay, so how can you be sure that a person will be a good collaborator and not a scammer? Because this exists everywhere around the world. That
what? Good collaborator,
okay,
not a scammer.
yes. How will
How
you
to
know?
know?
How will yes?
Okay. Uh, good question. So in today's world, it becomes very difficult to believe everyone. So it is only through
Sure.
experience. See, we cannot say like, okay, he's a good person, you can collaborate with him. It is like how you choose. So it might take a lot of experience to understand a personality. Even I think even people with experience have been scammed. So you need a
Sure.
transparent and
Sure.
honest communication. You should see that they have a shared commitment. So, and when you give a feedback, they should take it in the right sense. And it is better to have a good agreement in place, because legally, at least, you will have some control over them. And
Sure.
make sure that if they are very, very new, then make sure that the collaboration, the risk that you're taking, let it be small. And check out their past works to understand who they are. um, so in case they are not interested in doing anything legally, then it is better to stay away from them. And always when they are dealing or shifting the blame, and they are very secretive about their plans, or their past collaborations or their past business deals, then it is better to say a no to those.
Awesome. Awesome. Once more, thank you so much, Santa Mina. Yes, I believe everyone learned a lot from you. You spoke really well. You spoke from a position of experience, and they are really good at, speaking. Yes, you are really good at it, and a lot of us are really impressed by what you do online, and via your Instagram, via your LinkedIn, and just keep it up. Yes, keep it up, and keep the fire burning. Once more, we appreciate you for being with us. We appreciate you for your time. Appreciate you for everything. Okay, so the normal way we wrap up, we just have 1 minute. Okay, you have 1 minute to give the young persons watching an advice. An advice generally, you can just give them an advice before we wrap up.
Okay.
So in one
So,
minute, you can give the young persons watching.
yeah, yeah. So before I leave today, let me share a proverb that I love. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So this is a quote I love. So strategic collaborations surely will multiply your strength, and it will cover your weakness and open up opportunities that you didn't even know existed. So collaboration isn't like a service or a charity. It is a smart business. So so here afterwards you can have an ally, or a competitor can become your best partner. So go to kind of networking event where you can network. So if it's new business, you can go for a networking event. And so these all these things will help you. And thank you for your time today. I truly enjoyed sharing these
You're welcome.
stories and ideas with you all. And you're really doing
Thank you
a
so much,
great work,
Santa.
Victor, reaching out to us. And I think many people from India has collaborated with you, and we
Yes, a
truly
lot.
encourage you doing this. So I have a lot of my friends line up for your next events.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Santa. Thank you so much, Santa. We look forward to a greater collaboration together.
Initially, I'm sorry
Thank you
about
so
the
much
delay.
for
I
reaching out
had
to your
some prop.
persons.
Sorry. Initially, I had some delay because of the network issues here. All of a sudden, that is the reason I was not able to join.
Okay. There's no problem. There's no problem. Thank you so much. I do have a
Thank you.
wonderful evening. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you so
All right.
much. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much.